Sorry, I just started the recording, so I got a little delayed, and we did the prayers and the Mangala Charan. So we are going to read from text 29. What message did Uddhava send? Why Kṛṣṇa sent via Uddhava from text 29 onwards. So Uddhava is speaking to the Gopis, my good ladies. Now please hear your beloved's message, which is Kṛṣṇa, which I, the confidential servant of my master, have come here to bring you. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhavatinam Viyogo Me Nahi Sarvatmana Kvachit Yatha Bhutani Bhuteshu Khamvayur Agnir Jalam Mahi Tathaham cha manah prana bhutendriya gunashrayah. Translation purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Lord said, "You are never actually separated from me, for I am the soul of all creation, just as the elements of nature, ether, air, fire, water, and earth are present in every created thing. So I am present within everyone's mind, life, air, and senses, and also within the physical elements and the modes of material nature." Krishna is speaking this message to the gopis. According to Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, apparently philosophical language of the Lord's statement conceals a deeper meaning. The Supreme Lord was secretly telling the gopis that he, by way of reciprocating their special love for him, was present with them not only as the soul of all creation, but also as the special lover. In this sense of the verse, the word guna indicates the gopis' special divine qualities, which attracted Sri Krishna, and the word sarvatmana, which we have translated in reference to Lord Sri, which we have translated here in reference to Lord Krishna himself, corresponding to the word me, which is also the instrumental case, is also understood in the sense of sarvatha, or completely. In other words, although in one sense Lord Krishna was absent, he could never be completely absent, since in his spiritual form he is always in the hearts and minds of the gopis. He is sarvatha. He's never absent. For those who are thinking about him, he's always there. In Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and other books, Śrīla Prabhupada has elaborately explained that the reason Lord Krishna separated himself from the gopis was to intensify their love for him. And as Uddhava noted, to bless other devotees by revealing to them the intensity of the Gopa's love. In fact, the Lord was spiritually present with the gopis, since they are his eternal associate. He was spiritually present with the gopis. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further points out that foolish persons will conclude that Sri Krishna's use of philosophical language meant that the Lord was trying to bring the gopis to the point of liberation by explaining the basic points of Krishna conscious philosophy. In truth, the gopis are most exalted souls, and their pastime with Krishna must be understood with the help of the authorized acharyas. When the gopis came from the rasa dance, Sri Krishna tried to preach karma yoga to them, emphasizing ordinary ethics and morality. But the gopis were beyond that. Similarly, Lord Krishna now offers them Jnana Yoga, or metaphysical philosophy, but this is also inadequate for the gopis who have achieved spontaneous unalloyed love for Sri Krishna. Hari Bol. So Kṛṣṇa is telling that I'm always there. The elements, earth, water, ether, fire, air, are there in every created thing. Similarly, I am there. In the minds of sincere souls, those who are always thinking about me. Sadhavo hridayam mayam sadhu hridayam tam aham naham aham tav vyopyo na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. I live in the heart of my devotees live in my heart. They don't know anything but me, I know nothing but them. This is a reciprocal relationship between Kṛṣṇa and his pure, loving devotees. Tomara hriday sada Govinda Vishram. Govinda resides in the heart of his pure, loving devotees. So they're never separated. Why are you crying? Krishna is telling that he is the super soul of all beings. So the gopis are saying, why did you give us instructions on morality on the night of Rasa dance? Krishna says, oh, ignorant girls, on that day I was actually giving you instructions on how to enjoy amorous affairs with me. How did you foolish girls even ever conclude that I was teaching about moral principles? So there's a long purport here in the by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. But long story short, Krishna is telling, I take shelter of the mind, life, air, intelligence, senses, and words of you who are always meditating upon me in pure love. Taking shelter in each of these, I manifest myself, and thus I am always present with you. In Hindi, there's a bhajan also, Kana Kana mein hai tu, Jala Thala mein hai tu. Right? But those who are always thinking of Krishna, Krishna is in their very breath. Krishna is in every atomic particle of their body. Prabhupada was one time counting some money or doing some other chore, and someone said, Prabhupada, you told we should always chant Hare Krishna. Is it not? But you're doing a mundane activity. And then I think he touched Prabhupada's back or chest or something. And the moment he touched the chest, he could hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Prabhupada, although was doing something apparently material, but the mind, the heart of the pure soul is 24/7 Krishna conscious. And yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tishtami narada, wherever one's devotees, Krishna's devotees are thinking about him, he is there. So he's there in the mind, he's there in the body, he's there in the words, he's there in the senses. So in short, he's saying, I'm never separated from you. Any thoughts before we move on? Anyone wants to read next verse? Yes, Preeti Mataji, want to try? Anyone else wants to read, please? Sharma Mataji. Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Okay, please.
आत्मन्येवात्मनात्मानं सृजेऽहन्यनुपालये आत्ममायानुभावेन भूतेन्द्रियगुणात्मना Translation and purport by the disciples of E.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. By myself, I create, sustain, and withdraw myself within myself by the power of my personal energy, which comprises the material elements, the senses, and the modes of nature. Purport. Although the Lord is the supreme entity, there is no absolute duality between him and his creation. Since the creation is an extension of his being, the oneness is here emphasized by the Lord.
Yes, Mataji, please share your comments, thoughts.
This is very technical. I'm not sure how to explain this perfectly. Maybe you can add something.
So here, in short, if I try to understand, everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. He's the sustainer, and then he withdraws also. So there is no duality between him and his creation. Oneness, the principle of oneness, non-dual. But we know that technically this is not the topmost principle. So sometimes Krishna may also speak philosophy which is less than the highest. Can anyone share? Krishna another time also spoke philosophy which was technically not correct or not the highest. Anyone recalls a famous pastime? And we all celebrate that festival every year. Govardhan Leela. Where did he speak the philosophy there? When he said, what is Indra doing? Indra's job is to shower rain. Karma Vimamsa, he's doing his job, you do your job. If your doing yajna would cause rain, then why would he, pour rain on the ocean? Ocean is not doing yajna, but you see, he's so unintelligent. So Karma Vimamsa philosophy. That is not technically correct, but Krishna did speak that. So here, text number 30. I am the subject doing action, the location and the action and the object of action. I create the universe, the gopis are saying, but your form is Sachidananda, and the universe appears to be different than that. Krishna replies, the universe is created from my Maya Shakti, which in turn creates the material, from the material elements. Through the external energy, the Maya Shakti is one of my forms and is not my original form, Swarupa. There is difference between the creation and the creator. In one way, yes, they're absolute and they are the same, but still there is, simultaneous oneness and difference. That is Lord Chaitanya's philosophy. Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. I make my appearance, Atmana Srije, in your minds, Atmani, by my effort, Atmana, for the sake of conjugal union and other pastimes, I maintain Anupalaye, that form for a moment, and then I make that form disappears. Hanmi. The gopis ask, by what particular effort do you do this? Krishna says, I accomplish this with the power of my Yogamaya, Atmamaya, Anubhavena. What is the nature of the self, Atmanam, that you make appear? Krishna says, it is that form with all my limbs, Bhutani, my senses, Indriya, such as eyes, my qualities, Guna, my beauty, sweetness, cleverness, intelligence. All of these comprise Krishna's Atma, thus the compound which they comprise is expressed as the singular number. Hare Krishna. So Krishna is giving more philosophical knowledge here, or Uddhava is speaking that to the gopis, the message of Sri Krishna. Any other comments? Next verse, 31. Hina Mataji, Rekha Mataji, Preeti Mataji, or anyone else?
We'll read in few minutes, Prabhu. So,
Oh, sure. Rekha
Prabhu,
Mataji,
I'm parked right now, so I can read this one.
that'll be great.
Okay. Atmo jnana maya sudho vyatrikto gunanan vaya susupti swapna jagradbhir maya vritibhir ayate. Purport. Let's see. Okay. It is clearly stated.
Translation, Mataji, sorry.
Sorry. I'm very sorry. Translation. Being composed of pure consciousness or knowledge, the soul is distinct from everything material and is uninvolved in entanglement of modes of nature. We can perceive the soul through the three functions of material nature, known as wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. Purport. It is clearly stated here that soul, Atma, is constituted of pure knowledge, pure consciousness, and is thus ontologically distinct from material nature. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the word Atma may be taken to mean the Supreme Soul, Lord Krishna, since the Lord has just explained in previous verses that all material phenomena are expansion of himself. The phrase Maya Vritibhir Ayate indicates that by studying this world deeply, we'll come to the perception of God. From this point of view, the gopis were advised not to lament. Hare Krishna. Um, from what I understand is saying that um, everything what is created here or it is composed of pure consciousness basically is that the soul being in pure consciousness is not involved in the entanglements of modes of nature. Um, Although the soul is entrapped in the body, but it's um, I don't know. I mean, it's not tangled, but at the same time, I know that it gets birth and death according to our desires. So I'm confused, Prabhuji. But it emanates everything from Krishna. That's all I understand. Please add or correct. Sorry.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The soul is all pure, Sachidananda. There is no doubt. But we are Anuatma or Vibhuatma.
What does Anu Atma means, Prabhuji? Or Vibhu Atma?
We are Anu. Anu means tiny kana, particle.
Okay.
And Vibhu means infinite, Paramatma.
Oh, okay. So we are Anu.
So the
Small.
Anuatma is, although he is the same Sachidananda as the Paramatma, like a drop of water in the ocean has the same chemical composition, same melting point, freezing point, boiling point, whatever, same saltness, etc., but the quantity is different. So in one way it's same, but in one way it's different in quantity. So Atma here could mean the soul, and Atma here could also mean the super soul, as the two knowers of the body, the Jnana and Gyeya in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It's also mentioned about the three stages: wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. I'm going to read from Vishnu Thakur's commentary. Text number 31, right? This is text 31. The soul is transcendental above the material modes, right? I am the creator, Krishna says. Due to my inconceivable power, Achintya Shakti, I remain pure and never directly contact with the material nature. Though forever existing within the material body, the super soul remains distinct. Moreover, even though I am the controller of the modes of nature, I am not involved. The super soul can be inferred through the material functions of the mind during waking, sleeping, and dreaming. The supersoul can be inferred through the material functions of the mind during waking, sleeping, and dreaming. Have you inferred supersoul during these three functions? Waking, sleeping, dreaming? Something to reflect. This is further explained in the Bhagavatam 10.2.35. O Lord, cause of all causes, if your transcendental body were not beyond the modes of material nature, one could not understand the difference between matter and transcendence. Only by your presence one can understand the transcendental nature of your Lordship. Your transcendental nature is very difficult to transcend unless one is influenced by the presence of your transcendental form. So we cannot understand Krishna on our own unless he chooses to reveal. And why will he choose to reveal? When we show that sincerity. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि न भवेद ग्राहद इंद्रिया सेवोन्मुखे ही जीवादो स्वयं एव स्फुरति अधः स्वयं एव स्फुरति अधः. When we start सेवोन्मुखे, सेवा जीव से जीवादो, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we start chanting, when we start reading Gita, Bhagavatam, when we start remembering Krishna, the seva begins. And Swayamev Spurtiyada, Swayamev, he will give this realization which will help us to deepen our spiritual consciousness. So the idea here is that Krishna can be perceived, can perceive the soul and the super soul. Any other thoughts here? Okay, maybe one more verse. I know it's a little too technical, but you're all very sincere, so thanks for flowing through. I'll read one. I'll share one poem I was hearing that Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioned this in Shanagati. Even if you don't feel like chanting, chant anyways. Even if you don't feel the taste in chanting, chant anyways. Even if you sleep during chanting, chant anyways. Even if you're doing offenses during chanting, chant anyways. Even if you're chanting late night, chant anyways. Even if your mind is hither thither while chanting, chant anyways. Even if your mind is going toward lust, anger, greed, chant anyways. Even if your mind is thinking about projects, that chant anyways. Even if you don't like chanting, chant anyways. So similarly, sometimes same applies to Bhagavatam also. Even if you're not understanding fully, read anyways. Even if you don't want to read anyways. Even if you don't wish to, like to, read anyways. Because it's not for us. It's not about me, as we were discussing. It's always we were talking about what is in it for me. The South Indian Brahmana was reading the Gita. Mahaprabhu came and saw. Everyone was making fun of him. Vipra kahe murkh ami shabd arth nahi jani. Shuddha shuddha Gita padi guru agya mani. Vipra kahe, the intelligent people, the Brahmanas are saying, hey, oh guy, you know Gita, you don't know how to read ABCD, what will you read Gita? You don't know Kakhaga, right? You don't know Sanskrit, you don't know Vyakaran, you don't know pronunciation, you don't know how to read one word. Shabda artha nahi jani, you're a fool. So the Brahmana, then why are you crying? Mahaprabhu asked. Guru आज्ञा मानी, गुरु की आज्ञा मानकर मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. Why are you crying? Mahaprabhu asked. When I see the Supreme Lord becoming a chariot driver, my Supreme Kṛṣna becoming a servant of the devotee, it just gives me tears. Mahaprabhu said, you have understood the entire Gita. So this should be our mood also. That I am a fool. How can I understand Bhagavatam, especially 10th canto, especially these esoteric conversation between Kṛṣna and his pure devotee? I am a fool. I don't have knowledge. I don't have bhakti. I don't have jnana. I don't have any. But yet I will make my baby attempt to try to read because it is going to please Kṛṣna. It is going to please Guru. It's going to please Vaishnavas. And unknowingly, we will feel happy, joyful, and our cleansing will happen. Chetudarpana Marjana will happen. Any other comments? Just thought to share that poem I heard today. Next verse, anyone? 32. Yes, Radha Mataji. Want to read 32?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
There you go.
येनेन्द्रियार्थान् ध्यायेत मृषा स्वप्न वदुत्तैः तन्निरुन्ध्याद् इन्द्रियाणि विनिद्रा प्रत्यपद्यत. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As a person just arisen from sleep may continue to meditate on a dream even though it is illusory. So by the agency of the mind, one meditates on the sense objects which the senses can then obtain. Therefore, one should become fully alert and bring the mind under control. Purport. The verb pratipad means to be perceived or restored. The soul that is vinidra, free from the dreamlike condition of material consciousness, is restored to its constitutional position as an eternal servitor of the Lord, Śrī Kṛṣna, and thus the soul is directly pursued by pure consciousness. Thank you, Prabhuji. So it's talking about the dream and how we can relate it with the Krishna consciousness way. That in the dream state, we have so many dreams, but when we wake up, we will sometimes we remember the dream, but we have to continue our activities. So we have to remember Krishna always, thinking about him and controlling our senses. Maybe you can connect Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this verse. When a person meditates on material objects in the mind, what happens? What happens when we meditate on material objects? The famous verse of Gita. Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa. If we meditate on the material objects, what's next?
We get obsessed and if we don't get, we get angry, and then we lose our mind.
Right. Very nice. Very, very important famous verses. Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pujayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kama. Kama Krodho Vijayate. Krodhat Bhavati. Who will complete it, please? Krodhat Bhavati. Anyone? Sammoha.
Sammoham.
Sammoha.
Smriti vibhramaha, smriti pramshat, buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati.
Very nice. 262, 263. Bhagavad Gita. So back to here, he meditates on the objects, and then he develops desire to obtain them. The mind meditates on the objects, even though they are false. Thus, the mind should be restrained. That's where the point is. The thoughts may come, bad thoughts may come, but we have a choice to meditate upon them or to let them go. If we choose to meditate upon them, we'll go into the next trap, next trap, next trap. The first, like a Jamal, he saw a woman and a guy, prostitute, and embracing, and he kept meditating and led to a whole whirlpool of bad actions and reactions. Same with Ravana, saw Sita, led to a started meditating upon her and destroyed. Same with many, many other people. So, this happens after the mind and the senses should be restrained. So self-control. The person who is careful and alert, vinidra, obtains knowledge. जो जागत है सो पावत है, जो सोवत है सो खोवत है. सोते रहेंगे तो खो देंगे. And sleeping means what? Sleeping means comfort zone. In comfort zone, bhakti nahi hota. We have to be alert. We have to be awake. When Lord Ram was going, everyone followed him. Sumantra was taking him. And then the sun set. And Lord Ram, and couldn't bear everyone coming, and like how can he leave them in pain? So in the middle of the night, everyone was sleeping. Lord Ram said, Sumatra, get up. We need to leave. Now, right now. Lakshman, Sita, they all boarded a chariot. Everyone was asleep. They left. Kho diya. Comfort zone, growth does not happen. The growth happens in stretch zone, alert zone, wakefulness, mindfulness, not lethargy, comfort, sleep, laziness, no growth. So we have to be alert. That leads to knowledge, that leads to bhakti. As it is evidenced by the saintly behavior of persons in the past. For the Gopis, this means waking up from a swooning condition. Persons like yourself should reject as an unreliable source of knowledge and mind, that mind by which they meditate on the objects of the senses, such as seeing me, touching me, drinking the nectar of my lips, and embracing me. Although they are real because they come from my actual appearance in this world. They are yet false in a dream state. This is because upon giving up your sleeping vinidra condition, you appear with eyes and other senses devoid of mascara, eye color, or sandalwood paste. I understand that although I gave you all sorts of enjoyment. You consider all that enjoyment false due to being blinded by loving attraction to me and having lost all discretion because of your excessive anxiety of separation. All this gives me great unhappiness. Therefore, I have sent this message to convince you of the reality of all these pastimes performed. Hmm. Krishna is basically giving lot of philosophy here, lot of very high philosophy, mind, senses, give up, detachment, soul, super soul, everything is one. Why are you worrying? I'm there, I'm in the heart, I'm in body, soul, mind, ether. A lot of high transcendental philosophy. Hmm. He's sharing through the medium of Uddhava to pacify, hmm, to pacify the Gopis. We're going to pause here. We read few verses. I don't want to make it too technical. These are little technical verses. Any quick thoughts, comments, questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry, I was busy, Prabhu. Yeah, that you are saying that I really like the example that you are saying that you're giving the example from the Ramayana, right? That when Lord Ramachandra goes in the nighttime, that's what you. I think I miss it. That's why I'm just confirming with you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. When he
Okay.
was going to the
Mhm.
forest.
Right. Yeah, on the bank of I think I don't know which river, but yeah, Saryu, I guess. Okay. No, that remind me that song, Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also saying that, right? Jiva jago, Gaura Chanda bole, Kota nidra jao maya, Pishachir kole. So, I mean, that song, I don't know all of the, but it's a nice song that Lord Gauranga is saying that wake up, sleeping souls, wake up. How long you will sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? So basically, the sleeping situation is like when we are in the darkness, in ignorance is all sleeping, right? When we waking, as you're saying that wakefulness, we can see like in the darkness, as we mistaken that we think like it's a mistaken, we see the rope as a snake, right? So, but when the lamp of knowledge, even Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, the lamp of knowledge is, in that knowledge one can understand that. What was that verse? It start with Tesam evanukam parthan, right? Aham agyantam jam tamah nashyami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. So yeah, I mean, only the shining lamp of knowledge can destroy that darkness which is born of the ignorance. So yeah, I mean, it's a very awakening state, and I don't know, but I have one question also. The question is that you are referring that words. I was just hearing. I was busy that time. So you are talking about Dhyato Vishan Pumsa Sanga Dhyato Vishan Sangaste Supajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodha Vijay. This is right, Prabhu, that we contemplating the object of the senses and then attachment develop and all these things. But my question is sometimes mind is so obstinate is we trying to not to think about that. That's my personal experience, I'm saying it. But mind is nagging the problem, or whatever the situation is bothering, is most of the time is taking you back all the time. Although Krishna has says that yes, it is very difficult to control the mind, and it's a practice and detachment. But my personal experience is that unless you don't like engage your senses, like Save Manai Krishna Padara Vindyo Vacham Sive Kunta Gunanu Varnare. So that is, if you don't engage your senses, it's very difficult just to control the senses. And it's very difficult for, at least for me, I'm talking about myself, that not to contemplate on those things. Either it's a negative or the positive. Do you have some advice or practical things that I can apply in my day-to-day life?
Thank you for honestly sharing your heart. So what's your question? Help me understand your question in one or two
The
lines.
question is that, I'm trying to not to contemplate on whatever the events, but mind is nagging all the time. So what are the basic things I can apply in my life that I don't, because not all the time my senses is engaged. So I have to control at some point. So you'll give me some advice that what the proper way to, I know, not to contemplate on these things, or what can apply. Does that make sense, bro?
Yeah, thank you for sharing. It does make sense, and you're absolutely right. We are not like Haridas Thakur who can chant 24/7. So therefore, we need to find out avenues. We need to find out good, healthy avenues to keep ourselves in a healthy way busy, right? For example, doing something about we have to find what are the avenues. My physical health. You have children, taking care of children, your work, your material, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, family, kids, and bhakti, of course. So these are the 5, 6 venues. You see how you can, let's say you have to do exercise. You like doing it, okay, do it. Okay, going for, walk with the kids, going to play something with the kids. Okay, cooking in the kitchen. So the mind will run. Absolutely, the mind will run, and it's hard to not think. Therefore, we try to voluntarily bring it back. The mind will run. Bring it back. Bring it back. 626. Bring it back. This will go on throughout the life. And as Bhagavad Gita says, we recently had a very nice discussion with the youth, the power of habits. If you want, I can share those slides in class with you in the Youth Gita program. It was very interesting. 10 special ways where we can retune our habits or rewire our habits. So one of them is we cannot delete habits, we can only replace habits. So think of something which is positive, constructive, healthy thoughts. The mind will go towards negative. That's our natural inclination. Am I trying to address the point, or am I
Yes,
beating
yes, Prabhu. Yes, I mean, I like the point that you're saying, right? We cannot. Yeah, I also think like that practice makes a man perfect. But you are saying that, right? We have to develop some habits. That and I also like the point that you say that yes, it is stubborn, but we have to bring it back all the time, not just one time or two time or like every time. So it becomes a habit.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
Becomes a
Thank you,
habit.
Prabhu.
And the other, let me open that slide since we have a
Yes,
few
please.
minutes. You may appreciate all the hard work me and my wife put in making these slides. At least it will give us some satisfaction. So where were we? Power of habits. You know how habits work? The neuroscience of habits. There's a cue or there's a trigger, then there is craving. And this is directly related to the Dhyayata Vishyanpamsa verse. The trigger for Ravana was Sita's beauty, and then started to develop a craving, and then he did a response, and then there was an expectation of reward, and that cycle continues. For example, a child sees chocolate. Oh, seeing the chocolate is a trigger or a cue. There's a craving. Oh, if I eat, I'll feel so happy. It's so yummy, this, that. And then the hand grabs it. The tongue tastes it. And there's a reward. There's a dopamine, or same with checking the message, checking the, anything. This was, we discussed in the youth class. This boy got text as a cue. And then he feels, oh, who might have sent? My boyfriend, my girlfriend, my this, my that. Then the whole hour goes and there's a reward, the dopamine increase. Exactly connected to this Dhyayata Vishyanpamsa verse. The chains of habits are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Habit. Now this will be visible. This will be more clear here. Very hard to break. You remove the edge, still a bit remains. You remove the A, bit remains. You remove the B, still it remains. Not easy to give up. They're very, very strong. A lot of statistics here. But then there's art. We can hard to form new habits and reform the old ones. So have a positive dialogue with yourselves. Don't say that, oh, I cannot give up. Oh, I cannot give up to these impulses. Or I cannot control. Say positive. I wish to do this. I'm a morning person. I'm someone who takes care of the body. So have a positive self-dialogue. The law of replacement. We cannot fight a habit, try to replace it. Vishya Vinivartan. This is Bhagavad Gita has all the lessons are there. The modern psychologists and books are based on this. Instead of junk food, take a walk, take a prasadam. Instead of doom scrolling, maybe you can read an engaging book or fast kirtan. You cannot leave a vacuum. The weeds will grow back. So we need to give the higher taste. Every bad habit fills a real need. Find a better source. And this is called habit stacking. After this, I will do this. After this, I'll do that. After finishing dinner, I will track my habit. After taking bath, I'll chant one round. After coming from school, I will study for 30 minutes. Whatever. So the mind needs this. You know the famous story, right? The jinn came and said, "You give me task, otherwise I'll
Yes.
eat you." So Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, free time is not a blessing in Kali Yuga, and I agree fully. I was talking to my counselor the other day, and I was telling Prabhu, I have certain habits which are not healthy for me. And when I'm busy, I'm so productive, I'm so happy, and I'm doing like a lot more than I can, and lot more service, lot more for myself, and I feel much happier. But I don't have that many things on my plate, then those days are not productive. And he said that is true because Kali Yuga, this is we have. It says Vishika Prabhu says that forced efficiency. We need to force efficiency, otherwise Maya is going to. If we don't have an agenda, Maya will create an agenda for us. So we have to have an agenda before Maya creates an agenda. So design your environment. Another making habit, good making. So example, put the book you want to read in visible eyesight. If you put junk food, chips, and some other, like imagine if there is a pizza, right, a junk pizza or junk food just on your kitchen countertop. Naturally, the kids will feel like eating that. Very natural. You go to some training programs, there are a bunch of chocolates and candies, hundreds. People eat that. I was in a temple, in a training classroom. I won't say the name of the temple, so you don't develop judgments, but there was a box of chocolates, like real chocolates. in an ISKCON training program, and everyone is eating them. And others, those who don't even want, they also, because there's a queue there. There's a trigger. You see it, you feel like eating. And 20 more people are eating, you feel like eating all the more. It's very hard. So we have to create friction between the bad habits and cues, put the triggers or cues in the good habits. Like we don't feel like reading Gita, put 3 Gitas, one in the bedroom, one in the office, one in the kitchen. अरे सामने होगा तो एक श्लोक पढ़ लेंगे. But as an, oh, reading Gita, I don't know, where is my Gita? Oh, it's somewhere in the, what do you call that? ऊपर जो what do you call that? घर के ऊपर क्या वो सीढ़ी से जाता?
Attic.
Huh? Attic, yeah,
Attic.
attic, yes. It's somewhere in the attic. What's the likelihood of reading it? Water bottle on the laptop or near the laptop, book by your desk. But if you put the phone right next to you while you're studying, every child confessed they will feel like checking it. 500 times average person checks their phone. Children all the more. Out of sight, out of mind. Make visible progress, accountability and community. Work with the emotion. There will be impulses. Let them settle. The urges will come and go. The morning anchor, very important. Never miss twice. One day we miss, get back, bring it back. 626. Good habit reinforces good habit. Bad habit reinforces bad habit. We have a choice. I know I'm going a little fast, but this was an hour plus session with a lot of background and stories and more things. So Youth Gita, if anyone wants to join or send their kids to, you can welcome. This is a promo. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, what
That's
was the morning
beautiful.
anchor?
Haribol. Sorry, I
The,
missed.
the morning anchor.
The morning anchor is a very powerful thing. Basically, begin the day with something productive, something which makes you feel very nice, something positive. It could be a small prayer. And today only someone sent me a beautiful video. I will try to find it and send. Someone asked, like most people, what do they do in morning? They check phones, notifications, some check bank balance, some check their stock, some check what, you agree with these things? Some things I said, Facebook, WhatsApp, email, Gmail. So someone was joking with Mukesh Ambani, you know him, right? The richest person of India. Oh, you must be checking how many Geo subscribers you have, or how many, how your stock is doing, like what's your net wealth? What do you do the first thing in the morning? He said a beautiful answer. First thing, because of Nita, his wife, the first thing, me, my wife, my children, my in-laws, or daughter-in-laws, etc., everyone, we do one thing, and that is prayer. I was like, wow, that's amazing. How many of us, even ISKCON devotees, to be honest, they do the first thing is prayer? If you're doing it, great, but many don't. Even I miss many days, right, to be honest. So that's a morning anchor. Begin day with something, and you can set some rules that before I pick my phone, I'll pick my prayer. Do something like, even, and this is for youth, right? Like you are all mothers and they're running the home. You are anyways wired into this. This is for youth. Like, okay, I'll make my bed. Right? Or I'll chant I'll express one grateful thought to my parents, grandparents, teachers, Kṛṣna, anyone. Or I'll just take a 5-minute breath, or I'll just meditate, something. That's a morning anchor. Well begin is half done. Does that help?
That's beautiful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. I didn't plan to share that, but somehow Krishna had a plan, so
Oh, that's very beautiful, Prabhu, that the presentation you made it so nicely. And it's very easy to grab it, very easy to understand this, that, oh yeah, this may be a lacking point, but you made a very nice points. Thank you so much. You can, I mean, I don't know, is it possible? No? But it's very nicely that you put up all the phrases, and I like the habit, if you remove the H, it's still a bit remain. If you remove A, it's like a bit remain. So it's always like same, like, Prabhupada has given the example of, when you turn off the fan, it not immediately stops. It takes time to stop, but it slows down. So similarly, our habits and things are also like that, right? It slows down, it's not immediately stops, but it will change. Very nicely, Prabhu.
Well, either we control our habits or our habits will control us. We are what we repeatedly do.
Okay, so but one thing I just want to add, Prabhu.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
all true. It's everything is true, but since I am not in the association of devotees, it's a very long time, so I can understand that being in the association of the devotees, when we interact with the devotees, not every time we speak, but when we just associate, or when we just see the other devotees, you try to develop such determination to become like that. But since you are away from, that's what I felt in myself, that when you are away from the devotees, it's very difficult to keep that determination every single day, to be like, okay, no, I know I have this thing, because yeah, so I feel like that the association is a very, very important key factor to form your habits and to develop such, good habits, isn't it?
Yes, that's point number 6. That's the most critical one. Use accountability and community. So you are here, right? We are here, the habit owner. We have to develop some habit, be accountable to one person, whatever habit you are trying to. So accountability matters. Otherwise, out of sight, out of mind. Someone who cares, someone who is a well-wisher, someone who is like your mentor, or someone who even encourages. Okay, why did you miss yesterday? What happened? Okay, don't miss tomorrow. Please try, buckle up. You can do it. Come on. Then satsanga, where that habit is a norm. Where that habit is a norm, you just be there. Now, it may be hard because sometimes we may not have that opportunity, right? But if we can get, like you're going to sadhu sangha, you'll see naturally your japa will be great. Naturally, you'll feel like chanting and dancing. Naturally, you'll feel like on the top of the world because that's a norm there. Join a group where habit is that norm. Kids, they feel like studying when they go to library. They feel like working out when they go to gym. You don't have to do any extra pressure. Just bring them to the right place. So that's how we all start. Have one person and try to get this as much as possible. If we don't have it, attack is the best defense. Try to make something. With kids, like Anushrama Mataji also has a community, and she has pulled a few ladies together and doing satsang. I think your situation, Preeti Mataji's situation, quite similar. So you both are amazing, and you can create that environment, satsanga, that community. Even if it's a community, Vashika Prabhu says community is, you have more than one people, that's community. It doesn't mean 50 people or 5,000 people. If you have 2 people, that's community. Great. Inspire each other. You become those pillars of strength for each other. And guess what? 1 plus 1 is not 2, it's 11 when you have the right frequency. And sometimes, guess what? You may be around 500 people, but you will still feel I'm lonely. But one right person, you'll feel like I have 1,000 friends, right? So right community, right accountability, right friendship, it matters a lot more than just numbers. Hari Bol. Any thoughts?
Which I really like that point that in order to remove a bad habit, we can focus on or replace it with a good habit. That's very powerful. And like Preeti Madhavi said, you have expressed these very powerful thoughts in a way which makes it sound very natural and easy, which is very nice.
Yes, this is, and actually this is Gita, direct words from Gita. It may sound like I have quoted some modern philosopher or modern thinker, but actually they have taken, this is saying exactly by experiencing a higher taste, then you can replace the lower taste. Hmm. Otherwise, the taste for sense objects still remains. Just artificially saying no, oh, I will not eat chocolates. Just artificial restraint won't help. So this is you cannot fight. It's the same way the saying 259 saying that. Replace it with something which gives higher reward, higher taste. Prabhupada did that. The hippies became happies, not by giving up their bad habits, but taking Krishna consciousness, and bad habits go as a natural byproduct. So we all have to learn this the way we can easily communicate to the present generation. Present generation, I don't mean just youth, even the 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. They may not want to hear directly like Gita, but if you tell them in a way which they can comprehend, they love it. And then once they are ripe, you can say, oh, it's coming from this ancient book of knowledge. They like it, they'll appreciate it. That's what youth also. We don't, in the Youth Gita program, it's not that we are reading one verse after the other. They'll get bored. They don't have that time, patience, energy, or enthusiasm. So you have to teach them the way they can hear and combine with some verses which make sense, and tell them that this is our roots, this is our ancient Vedic knowledge. Then they hear. So many kids are doing such amazing, amazing reflective assignments, such amazing thoughts in the discussion groups, breakout session. I and Manjulari are just amazed and just so grateful to be part of this. We're learning so much from these kids. They're so amazing. 30 plus kids are joining every week. We're already 4 weeks into this. I didn't, think what, like when I was starting this, I didn't think of all these things, but it's such a beautiful journey for me. I didn't have these presentations actually before. It's not that someone gave me, and like every week we are working on the next presentation. She does the prep work, I do, then she checks, and we're just combinedly trying to help each other. What is right, what will make sense, how will it appeal to them, what does it make sense for a 13-year-old, the examples, the pictures. They're liking it somehow. They are giving us this chance.
Sorry to interrupt you, Prabhu, but is there any age criteria for your this course?
I put 10 to 19, but thoda
Yeah,
upar
I mean
jalta.
that's why that's what I saw your flyer because my kid is 7, so I don't know. But he's reading the like Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's books and all
Nice.
these Krishna's Leela, all these things. But
Nice.
yeah, but I don't know. I can just try to sit if that's okay. Maybe, probably, I don't know.
Yes, totally up to you. There's one 80-year-old girl coming from Canada. See, this is the statistics. We see and this parents also should know how a teen brain is. We don't know. And we feel why they are so attracted to. So teen brain is like acceleration is 3 times, brakes are 50%. That's a teen's brain. That's how it happens. They have watched 2,000 acts of violence, 9,000 acts of murder a 10-year-old has seen on TV. This is what the TV and the modern gadgets are doing. So I feel it's very important, not only for younger ones, but everyone. So yeah, so spread the word if you know people in your community, friends, etc. And if you feel your son, daughter wants to join, they're welcome. That's fine. In the Vedic school, age is less of a criterion. The mental development and interest matters more. If they are interested, then they'll pick up. And of course, parents have to do some support to help them understand better. Okay, sorry if I went over, but thank you for tolerating me. Gadraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhakta ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for enlightening me. Thank you.
Thank you, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.